So Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, more like Mr. Isn't It Wonderful? My wife didn't face any consequences for killing those two people. He wants to bring a data center project to the state of Utah. And it's called the Stratos Project. And for some reason, he's also calling it
they recently
Wonder
renamed
Valley. But this thing is massive.
40,000
acres massive. It's huge, and it's going to take a ton of power capacity. They're saying 9 gigawatts.
Which is twice as much power as the entire state of Utah currently consumes.
I mean, he's just going out there and having his dick kicked in on every news show, like
My favorite.
going on Tucker Carlson and just looking like a fool. You can do all the numbers aren't what they seem. You're misunderstanding the water usage of data centers all you want. But I think when your governor is asking for the entire state to pray for more water,
Weekend of prayer.
maybe a 40,000 acre mega data center is not going to go over well with people. That's the thing. I do feel like a lot of these people are digging their own graves. We're like, honestly, if you weren't just so annoying on TV.
You should just come out as autistic, and then he's got to get out of jail free card.
I think
Whoa. I'm autistic. So, and I got the little puzzle piece.
I'm looking downtown with Betty on me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. So listen on up to Betty on me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on.
Gotcha, bitch. Wow. Wow. That's my Jeff Goldblum impression.
do it.
Wow. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? If you are hearing our voices or seeing our faces, it can only mean one thing, and that's that you want to know what's going on, and you came to the right place. I am Ben.
I'm Emil.
Yeah, and this week we're talking about data centers. Or as Emil calls them, data centers, which makes me go, what about the mama centers? Every time. Every time.
It just proves we've got a long way to go to smashing the patriarchy.
The
Since
patriarchy?
I corrected it myself. You don't get to do it when you correct yourself.
You're right. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, we're going to be talking all about the data centers and why you're probably actually wrong when you make those jokes about the water consumption.
But you're actually kind of right.
But you are kind of right.
We'll get into it.
It's a whole big thing, and we learned so that you don't have to learn. And isn't that just the way the world is these days? We are your Chat GPT. We are your Claude, and that's actually really what does Claude always say? I'm glad you noticed. Thank you for pointing that out.
Honestly, you're not just a researcher, you're a
Student.
Yeah.
Of
You're not
life.
just a student, you're a researcher.
God dang, man. I hate that cadence that they do. And we're
It
gonna
really
be,
is so grating.
And Kevin O'Leary, what, did he poop and pee his pants on TV?
Well, so obviously
Talk about
the
that.
data center things have been going on for a while, but the Kevin O'Leary, it's almost the Streisand effect thing. You know the Streisand effect?
Yeah,
where
Barbara Streisand. It's the effect she has on all of us when we see her on screen.
No, I think it's
touching.
I think I forget exactly what it was, but she brought up something that no one was even paying attention to, and then it made it so much worse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she was talking about her house, her address. She said, people know where I live. And then they were like, no, we don't. And then she said, yeah, I live right here. And now
That's
everybody.
what it was?
I think so.
I don't
That's
think that's what it was.
I believe it was. Streisand effect.
Google the Streisand effect. That is not what it was.
Streisand effect.
I thought it was I thought she was trying to move her house to a
The origin story, the incident, 2003, she sued a photographer for $50 million attempting to force the removal of an aerial photograph of her Malibu clifftop mansion. And before the lawsuit, the photograph had been downloaded only 6 times. Boy, Streisand. Yeah, Kevin
But that's
O'Leary.
a perfect example of what I think happened here. So Kevin O'Leary, if you don't know him, he's the guy from Shark Tank. He's Mr. Wonderful. He's the most annoying guy. And also, I don't know if this is xenophobic of me, but I think it pisses me off even more that he's like a Canadian billionaire who comes here and complains about American politics. It's just like, get out of here, pal.
Well, we'll get to that.
Don't you have a...
We'll get to that. And we'll teach you everything. Don't you have a what?
We'll get to it.
A stack of pancakes to pour maple syrup all over?
Don't you have a wrongful death suit that you've got to win for your wife or something?
What the hell?
You never heard the story about his wife driving?
No, but we'll talk about it. And if we got time, we'll get to Masayoshi-san's psycho investor deck that he put out. But first, before we do that, just a real quick reminder, go to the website, benandemilshow.com. We're introducing a whole bunch of new stuff on there, including and especially this week, we are going to be watching a movie together and doing a little commentary on it. This week's movie is for the 4th of July, America's 250th birthday. That's right. It is 1999's Independence Day, or 97.
I was going to say, that seems late.
I think it was 97. Yeah. Anyway, nobody knows
Because
what
I
date
remember
it came
being
out.
quite young and asking my dad, what's an exotic dancer?
Yeah. It's a stripper, son. And we got our bonus episodes. We got a real doozy for you today. Go to thecreditcardlist.com. Get that Chase Sapphire card.
You got to. You
Just as an
absolutely have
example
to.
of what you can get with the 100,000 point sign-up bonus, brother, I converted only like 60,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points, which is what you get for a one-way business class ticket, LA to Tokyo. And then using some more, I think it was only 37,000 Tokyo to Australia. So that's just an example of what you can do with that stuff.
I mean, I got me and Sarah tickets to New York and haven't even come even close to 100K for both of us.
It's a big value. It's a huge bargain. But okay, so and check out last week's episode and our episode on Stock Twits, which is also on our channel.
And join us in the bonus episode because it's going to be a real fun one.
Oh yeah, Doug attacked a child. So that wasn't great.
And they're putting him down later this week, but
And
we'll be going through it all.
yeah, we're killing him via chocolate.
Join us in the bonus if you want to hear about
A heavenly euthanasia. But no, my cortisol levels are still so elevated. I'm on clavicular mode. So data centers, huh? What I thought, Emil, first of all, we should talk about what is a data center. Because
before we even do that, I wanted
What?
to talk about the Mr. Wonderful apology thing. I just wanted to Tarantino it a bit because we wouldn't even be
What do you
talking.
mean Tarantino it?
You know how
tease it?
sometimes you go into the end and then it
Oh,
unfolds
yeah,
after?
Okay.
I feel like that's a pretty famous thing people say, but maybe.
I was confused. Go ahead.
And this is what I'm talking about with the Streisand effect. I have not, like, the data center thing has been, like, swirling around my head, and I have just been kind of like, you know what? I'm the meme of, like, what is it? Sorry that happened or happy for you.
Oh yeah, I ain't reading all that, but I'm happy for
But
you.
I'm like
or
broadly
sorry that
supportive. I see the people freaking out at the community meetings, and I'm like, good, chase these tech freaks out of town, whatever. But so Kevin O'Leary posts this thing to Twitter. I think it's on Friday, June 25th, and it's not a text; it's an image of text, and he just said, recently, I appeared on various news programs and would like to clarify that I have no evidence that Alliance for a Better Utah, Elevate Strategies, Gabrielle Finlayson, sorry if I'm getting that wrong, Taylor Knuth, sorry if I'm getting that wrong, or Josh Cantor are funded by China or the Chinese Communist Party. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I went on this whole long thing. I'm sure people have been seeing that he's got this weird data center project in Utah. And we're going to get into all that and how he ended up having to issue this weird pseudo apology.
I saw him on one news thing. He was wearing 2 watches on either hand. What a schmuck!
Yeah, I mean,
this is for the time over here and the time. What the?
That's the thing. I do feel like a lot of these people are digging their own graves. Where, like, honestly, if you weren't just so annoying on TV, you probably. I mean, who knows? They probably would have already, because I do think some of the less. The projects with less high profile people attached to them people are still pissed about it.
He should just come out as autistic, and then he's got to get out of jail free card. That's my plan if anything ever happens to me.
I think
whoa! I'm autistic, so and I got the little puzzle piece.
He does already kind of have a get out of jail free card, which is being very rich.
Oh,
no, not a dead wife. His wife killed 2 people. Which we should be careful because he has sued the shit out of people who talk about it. He does not like when you talk about.
Allegedly, she killed 2 people, which
not
we
allegedly.
think is awesome.
She did.
Oh.
They let her off the hook, but she did kill those people.
Again, I think that's
drove
cool.
She drove their boat right into them.
She drove. She drove her. Yeah, okay. Well, so hey, gang. First, what is a data center? because you might be. Everybody thinks that they know, but I mean, I wasn't quite sure, and I found this interesting. So they're big buildings with rows and rows of servers. And they have data storage, networking equipment, and power and cooling systems. They are essential for all things digital services, whether you're streaming, email, the cloud.
If you're
a
watching
chatbot.
this, it's because of a data center.
Yes,
probably.
you are interacting with data centers every single day. They've been around for decades, obviously, because the internet's been around for decades. But recently, obviously, they've been booming with AI. And basically, you've got a couple different types. You have hyperscale data centers. Think cloud, crypto, AI. Hyperscale is like a hyperscaler is Google, Oracle, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft. There's only like a handful of them. They're massive. Then there's the enterprise ones that are like close-ended. They're not ones that you probably interact with. They're owned and operated by businesses for private storage and computing. And then there are these co-location data centers that they're service providers who rent their shit. So think Marathon Digital, if you're familiar with these stocks, Iron. They are in many cases, former Bitcoin miners that have since pivoted to lending out their compute. They typically, these hyperscalers, just to give you an example of their size, they typically have at least 5,000 servers and can be up to 1 million square feet, whereas the average size is about 2 to 5,000 servers. I didn't know this also. They are not required to federally register. There's no like federal registration of a data center. You can just build
the federal
one.
registration now.
You can build one in secret. Well, not in secret, but like the public doesn't technically get to know. There's no obligation on their part. And
well, that's how often a lot of times these come up, is these weird community meetings where they're going and trying to get approval for these data centers being built on land.
I was surprised to learn this also. There are, according to datacentermap.com, let's click that link, please. There are, and it's a handy little thing. I mean, you got a map of the good old US of A. And boy, if I were a terrorist, this is really what
his first thought always.
Well, because I mean, you've got
he looks at a map of data centers. He goes, "How have they not just blown all those up?"
Or like
why are young men not just thinking about blowing these things up?
Well, because that's the thing is they are typically in clusters. There are over 4,438 data centers. There are over 3,000 that are operational, and that includes some 1,500 odd that are planned. As you can see, there's a huge concentration in California. You got a bunch in Phoenix, Texas. I believe
Texas has got to be the leader. Jesus.
Well, a lot of them are planned there.
Oof,
especially in the Permian Basin. The biggest one,
Virginia. Good
Virginia.
Lord.
Yeah, Virginia, man. It's Virginia is just the absolute king of the castle. They have over 500. They are the world's largest market for data centers. Texas has a little over 200 currently. California 270
currently, or those.
So those are including the ones that are planned.
Jesus Christ!
And so the thing is, currently, what the problem is that the rural South and the Midwest are seeing the most new growth and the most new proposed data centers because of their vast amounts of land.
67% of new data center construction is planned for rural areas.
Yeah, 87% currently exist in cities. What is that? Let's click that. We got that. That's from the Pew Center. There's some handy little graphs there. Scroll down. Yeah, there we go. There's one. So yeah, this is pretty handy. It shows Virginia currently has that many operating and then that many planned. Texas, California, Illinois, and on down.
Good Lord, man. They have more planned than like almost the next.
Yeah.
Christ.
Virginia really doesn't give a hoot. Illinois.
Seriously.
Abigail
Spanberger, get on it.
Georgia, a whole bunch of data centers. Can you scroll up, please? What is the other one right there? Oh yeah, there we go. The rural versus urban, 67%. And anyway, there's a handy little thing on Business Insider that shows if there's one near you, because odds are there is one near you. I didn't know this either.
Can't you hear it humming?
Yeah. So yeah, scroll down. Put in your home address, Connor. Wow. There's an Amazon one. This is just in Los Angeles.
It is crazy. I kind of thought they would be nowhere around here,
dude. Yeah. Well, just like
just imagine them out in nowhere.
BFE.
Just BFE.
Butt fuck Egypt.
Oh, I've never heard
You've
that
never heard
in
that?
my life.
I remember my brother-in-law taught me that when I was like 14. He's like, "Oh, it's way out in BFE." I was like, "What's that, Jay?" Butt fuck Egypt. Cool.
Woo! We got to take a quick break because I'm sleepy, Ben.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling the afternoon doldrums.
Yeah, man.
I wish I had something for it.
Well, that's why you need some mud water, baby. That's what I love about mud water. Same morning ritual as coffee, chai, or matcha, but with functional mushrooms and adaptogens instead of a full caffeine hit. You get steady energy and no spiral, baby. I've been loving their original brand. It's cacao, chai, turmeric, and functional mushrooms. It's like a spicy hot cocoa. It's warm, grounding, and actually satisfying. It's really, really good.
If you're like me, a coffee shop lover who just can't handle the full caffeine anymore, mud water is the version of your morning drink you didn't know existed, okay? Mud water is a coffee alternative made with mushrooms and adaptogens, about 1/7 the caffeine of coffee, so you get the focus and energy without the jitters, crash, or anxiety. And the best way to start is the starter kit. It's designed to set you up with everything you need to actually build the habit. When you order, you get the full-size tin of your chosen blend, plus a free rechargeable frother,
Love the frother.
free gifts, and free shipping. There are actually 4 flavors. OG, that's the original chai chocolate blend, coffee, matcha, and turmeric. So if you're a coffee person, a matcha person, a chai person, or something in between, there's something for you. But the OG is where most people start because it's like chocolate and chai had a very healthy baby.
So are you ready to make the switch to cleaner energy? Go to mudwater.com/Baze and grab the starter kit. Use code BAZE and you'll get 43% off. The frother alone is worth it. That's right, up to 43% off with code BAZE at mudwtr.com. After your purchase, they'll ask how you found them, so please show your support and let them know we sent you. Also, fun fact, my younger brother services some of these places. Not like the ones that are in buildings. Like there's an AT&T building here in LA that's empty, but it's got a bunch of servers and stuff. But yeah, 38% of you guys live within 5 miles of at least one operational data center, according to Pew, and 9 in 10 are built within 5 miles of another one. So they're all, like I said, they're clusters. And another 4% of Americans don't live near one, but they live near one that is planned. And all these states, as you can see, they're obviously they want them. They're competing to attract them because they get all the economic windfalls.
The states want them in the sense that,
And the feds are calling them a national priority.
A lot of leaders in the states are ready to approve these projects with no questions asked. But what we're finding is the people in those states don't actually want them. And that's honestly been the most interesting thing to me as someone who's been kind of like paying attention to it in a cursory way, seeing pretty rural places, oftentimes somewhat right-wing places come together. There's actually this video, if you could play it. It's down in the clip section. There's just a woman who's being interviewed about how she says she's not going to vote.
Quarter-mile away, Cheryl Shadden says the noise is as loud as ever.
It's like living on the edge of Niagara Falls, or you're on a runway next to a jet that's taking off, but this jet doesn't take off.
Morning, noon, night, she even hears it in her bedroom, and it's changed everything about how she lives her life, including her politics.
Red or blue, if you vote against data centers, we vote for you.
A lifelong conservative, she's so angry, she refuses to vote for Trump-backed Attorney General Ken Paxton, who clinched the GOP nomination for Senate Tuesday. Instead, she's all in for James Tallarico, a Democrat seeking to flip a seat controlled by Republicans since 1993. You're willing at this point to forego basically every conservative issue and let the Senate fall into the hands of Democrats if that's what it takes to kill data centers.
Yep. My entire community is going to break rank. Everybody. All of us. We've had enough.
Breaking rank and coming together.
I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump.
It is crazy. That probably paints a pretty good picture of how frustrating it can be to live near one of these things.
It's like that meme of the superhero sweating the cartoon, and the 2 buttons, and it's like trans sports and data centers.
Which one do you hate more?
yeah, something like that. But yeah, so I mean, she's talking about the noise pollution. There's the water issue, but let's start with how much energy they use. And this always broke my brain because, megawatts, terawatts, all that crap, it means nothing to me. But it is, I mean, in terms of percentages and whatnot, data centers used 183 terawatt hours in 2024, which is more than 4% of the total consumption of the United States electricity or all of Pakistan. So we used an entire Pakistan just for data centers. And that's the thing. Because these data centers handle all kinds of different shit, it's hard to tell exactly what part of the grid strains or whatever is coming from AI, but typical AI hyperscalers consume about 100,000 households worth of energy per year, with larger ones that are coming online consuming 20 times that. So what is that, 2 million? 2 million houses?
Yeah, I mean, they're saying by 2030, it could data centers could use up to 17% of U.S. electricity.
Yeah.
It's a very large chunk.
And so, okay, so because they can, like I keep saying, because they tend to be in clusters, because they just like each other. They're attracted to each other. They want to be near each other. It makes them happier. It makes the happier.
They can produce better results.
They can produce better results.
Otherwise, they get stressed out.
Otherwise, they get stressed and they get isolation. Think about a dog. It needs some kind of, it needs play. Okay. And they
but yeah, that's a very real aspect of it. I think there's a lot of people, there's a lot of data center denialists maybe who are like, it's not so bad, but the power thing is 100% real.
Yeah,
I mean, then that's going to be more
grids.
pressure on aging power grids. That's going to be higher electricity costs for regular consumers. Like if you just want to turn your heat on or your AC, you're going to be paying more for that.
Yeah.
It could affect how some areas get their power. And yeah, there's another thing where people might have to start, or communities might have to start implementing thermonuclear power plants, which will impact water use as well because of the demand for electrical from these grids,
Currently,
from these data centers.
Well, not to mention also utility companies. I mean, this is kind of a good thing to me. They have to make repairs and upgrades to be able to handle that higher demand, but obviously that costs a lot of money, and consumers and smaller businesses are the ones that end up shouldering those costs. And the 40% of that power in 2024 came from natural gas. Right on.
Why do you say that?
Farts.
Oh,
Renewables
God.
were 24%, wind and solar. Nuclear was a surprising 20%, and coal was 15%, and natural gas is expected to continue growing in market share. But they are currently obviously they're bringing online a couple of nuclear power plants that were shut down, and they are working on, these small modular reactors. That's the thing, is a lot of these new data centers that are planned do have plans to be completely independent. They have their own, be it gas turbines, natural gas, whatever, their own things that are independent of the grid, which is good. So there are some good aspects, but again, it goes back to my biggest concern would be the noise pollution. And
Mine would be, so for me, okay, there's this, you guys should, well, maybe we'll link to it. There's this guy who did this video, Kyle Hill, about data center water usage. There's actually, it seems like a pretty
great video.
popular YouTube video right now. I think, what's that guy's name? Not Hank Hill. That's the guy from Hank Green. Jesus Christ. He like also had a very popular, like, what's the deal with AI?
Bobby, how much water are they using?
What's the deal with data center water usage? And the reason they're doing that is because it's a bit misleading. Data centers do use a lot of water, but that doesn't tell what happened.
Was that an earthquake? Did you feel that rumbling? You felt that? It was probably a truck outside. Sorry.
Data centers do use a lot of water. When you just look at the numbers, it's a shit ton of water, but comparatively, it is
minuscule.
It seems like a drop in the bucket when you compare it to other things. It's like oftentimes people compare it to golf courses, which I will say, I think a lot of the people who are worried about data centers, if you told them it's about as much as golf courses, those people would probably tell you like, well, fucking, I don't give a shit
less
about
than golf courses.
Golf courses aren't a very,
essential
efficient and essential
Yeah,
thing
says
for
you.
us. If you ask me, I'd say pave over all of them and just put tennis courts there. I don't give a shit.
I like how you didn't say any. Put the data centers there. You're like, no, turn them into tennis courts.
turn them all into tennis courts.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's bigger than that. Like, yes, it is a drop in the bucket, but they still use massive amounts of water. And
Sure.
as we'll get into, like the Kevin O'Leary data center in Utah that we're going to talk about, the Stratos project, is a perfect example of oftentimes these are in remote areas with water-strapped communities.
Yeah. Municipal
So-
water where it's
So if you were going into one of these communities that's living through a drought and you were like, hey, we want to build this massive golf course, people would go, what the fuck are you talking about? We don't have enough water to water
Take a
our
damn
plants.
shower.
You're telling us to like
I
shower.
stink from playing so much tennis today.
You're telling us to shower every other day. So I think the water consumption thing is complicated. It makes a lot more sense to me now. I think I had seen a lot of people post things and I was like, okay, maybe it's a bit more complicated than I imagined, but it is still a ton of water, and the way they do it I don't think is in a very efficient way. It's also confusing. There's the famous AOC clip of her holding
Doo-doo water.
Basically jars of very dirty water and being like, this is what happens when a data center comes down. That's slightly misleading because it makes it seem like when a data center gets turned on, it turns your water into like
poop.
toxic sludge.
Slurry, yeah.
But what actually happens is
Makes your water cleaner and smarter.
it doesn't make your water cleaner and smarter. It makes what happens is
Makes it taste better.
that's from the construction projects mixing sediment and stuff into the water,
Yeah.
which is still not good.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem. I think like a guy like Kyle Hill, his argument in that video is that water usage is just kind of not your best argument against having a data center in
Right.
your town. There are all these. He points to the power.
Pointing me, dude.
He points to the power usage that we just
Yeah.
talked to, which is massive and very real.
Mm-hmm.
And just all of the ways that data construction can really mess with local infrastructure. You're going into these towns and building these massive things, and they don't have the capacity to handle it. The noise pollution is
Psycho.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to downplay that. Like if you haven't seen these videos, I really didn't know about it until you brought it up on an episode. I had not really seen it.
They're just like a low.
These people at best are being irritated. At worst, they're like getting sick, having anxiety. There's another video about a guy who goes through all the like acoustic nature. He talks to people who are like experiencing all the symptoms of like I don't even know what he calls it. Like it's like sonic sickness. Infrasound,
infrasound,
like
poisoning kind of shit.
Just making you nauseous and whatever.
Yeah.
So at best, it's annoying.
Same thing happens when I would hear my ex-wife talk. You know what I mean? So I'm like, God, this infrasound, you're damn fun.
And then, I mean, yeah, there's just so many other things. They're taking up massive amounts of land and not really creating long-term jobs in that area. And then, that doesn't even account for all of the crazy heat pollution that these things can really...
the heat is also an issue. The heat dissipation. So when we talk about the water usage, they're basically, a lot of it is used for cooling. The majority is used for cooling. And there's also, it includes the manufacturing process of these chips, because to manufacture chips, you need like super, super, super pure, blessed by the Pope pure water, because these things are infinitesimally small. They're extremely sensitive to everything in the environment. They're so fragile. They're like a child with leukemia. They are so fragile, and any little thing, any little contaminant can just ruin the whole thing. And they're obviously very expensive to manufacture and transport, and then. So you need clean water for the manufacture. They need, up until recently, you've needed clean water for cooling them. But they are now working on either waterless or recycled ones. And I saw this one. It
does seem like a lot of them have gotten good about recycling their water.
Yes.
Whatever.
NVIDIA
That's
is
still,
now.
It's still a massive amount of water they need.
Yeah.
But
Here, let's click the NVIDIA using hot water. They put out this blog post updating on what they're doing. They use hot water, and it gets even hotter to cool it down. And I still don't understand how it works. I mean, NVIDIA's latest AI servers can run on coolant warmer than a hot tub, and that counterintuitive choice is one of the biggest efficiency leaps in data center history. Yeah, every chip, every networking component cooled entirely by liquid in a closed loop with no fans anywhere in the system. Let's see. We have eliminated massive amounts of power usage and pretty much all water usage. With dry cooler-based designs, it is a closed-loop system with no evaporative water cooling, outside of maybe 1% of the year when we might need chillers in some climates. Yeah, cooling alone has accounted for up to 40% of a data center's electricity consumption, making it one of the most significant areas where efficiency improvements can drive down both operational expenses and energy demands. So it's interesting, and they're actively. I mean, that's very fast that they're working on it. Amazon is switching to recycled water, like non-potable wastewater kind of things. But yeah, like you said in this Kyle Hill video, the headlines are misleading. They do use a lot of water, but relative to other consumption, it's really not that much. For example, in the United States, per day, we collectively use 317 billion gallons of water, and data centers use 77 billion per year by 2028 is what they're projected to use.
But I do want to be clear: if you're going into a water-strapped community,
exactly,
and trying to, we should talk about Mr. Wonderful. I think this is a good way to illustrate what is happening. Yeah. So Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, more like Mr. Isn't It Wonderful? My wife didn't face any consequences for killing those two people. He wants to bring a data center project to the state of Utah. And it's called the Stratos Project. And for some reason, he's also calling it.
They recently
Wonder
renamed
Valley.
it Wonder Valley, yeah.
I don't know what the naming status is. I think it's interchangeable. But this thing is massive.
40,000
acres. Massive. It's huge, and it's going to take a ton of power capacity. They're saying 9 gigawatts.
Which is twice as much power as the entire state of Utah currently consumes.
It'll be one of the largest hyperscale data centers in the world. It's going to be a $100 billion build out.
Which is so funny because Mr. Wonderful has only a $100 billion project. He's the lead developer on it. And he's only put in like $10 million of his own money, which I found to be very, very small relative to, that's like less than 0.1%.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know what value they're getting from having this guy be on, we'll get into it, but I mean, he's just going out there and having his dick kicked in on every news show, like going on Tucker Carlson and just looking like a fool. So I'm like, what do you guys get out of this deal except for a buffoon?
Yeah, and bad PR.
And again, I wouldn't have really even known about this story and wouldn't have looked into how bad data centers are if it wasn't for Mr. Wonderful being such a buffoon.
Yeah.
But so it's going to be put in Box Elder County. And
Box Elder County. Not Young Box County. Box Elder County. Is it Edler or Elder?
Elder.
Oh, I put Edler. Or it says, well, yeah, Elder. Box Elder. It's probably some Mormon thing, right?
I would imagine it's
Box
maybe
elders, the elders.
I thought Native American, but I don't know.
Oh, so I take it back. It's probably fine.
And like most of these things you see online, these like data center approval, community meetings.
Yeah,
it's very contentious. There's a big crowd. They're pissed. Commissioner Boyd Bingham threatens to have them all thrown out by law enforcement, and he says, "For hell's sake, grow up."
For hell's sakes, grow up.
For hell's sake?
Yes.
Go to the ice cream parlor.
And
cool
then
down.
They
have ice cream parlors there in Utah?
What?
Or soda parlors? Because they don't serve alcohol.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so go on.
And then they go into a closed room and they unanimously vote for it on a live stream.
3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them rather than doing it. And O'Leary was not there, but he did he did go on and say that the protesters who were there were paid protesters, and they were
I love this.
They were bussed
that,
in.
Click that one about the lying. Yeah, like you said, Box Elder County commissioners on May 4th unanimously approved plans for a 40,000-acre data center. So Kevin O'Leary on April 27th told Fox and Friends that he had met with Utah Governor Spencer Cox, House Speaker Mike Schultz, and Senate President Stuart Adams in late 2025 about the project. He said on TV that they said, "We want to build this thing. Can you do it?" I said, "I've got the team. I can raise the capital. Do you have the land?" And they said 40,000 acres. And then Spencer Cox apparently just said, "Yeah, I wasn't part of that."
No, that's Schultz. That's not Spencer Cox.
Oh, whoops. And then, yeah, Schultz said, Mike Schultz, the House Speaker, said, "Yeah, I wasn't part of that. He did reach out for a meeting, but my schedule was busy and I did not have a chance to meet." He added that he didn't even find out about the project until early April. So that's one big lie right there. And what do you got on Cox, Mr. Cox?
So, I mean, I want to talk about why people are so pissed about this, right? Like, we're talking about, okay, you know, the water usage on these data center things is maybe a little bit misleading, and you know, this is a very specific community. This is Utah. If you don't know, they are facing one of a very dire water shortage. They're facing one of the warmest winters they've had in I believe a century, which means they're having one of the worst snowfalls and the smallest snowpack they've had. So they're in a bad situation. And this was a few years ago. This is Governor Spencer Cox from Utah with his plan for
Surely
the
it's a
people
really
of
good
Utah
plan, right?
for getting more water and to get out of this drought. Let's see what he
I'm
has.
sure he's got a great plan. Let's check it out.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So far this year, I've issued 2 executive orders declaring a statewide drought emergency. While we've had a few welcome rainstorms this spring, it's simply not enough to fill our reservoirs or offset the low levels of moisture in our soils. The extremely dry conditions this year bring the potential for deadly fires, and the lack of water threatens our crops, our livestock, and wildlife, our food supply chains, and really our way of life. I've already asked all Utahns to conserve water by avoiding long showers, fixing leaky faucets, and planting water-wise landscapes. But I fear those efforts alone won't be enough to protect us.
Sure,
we need
naturally.
more rain, and we need it now.
Yes.
We need some divine intervention. That's why I'm asking Utahns of all faiths to join me in a weekend of prayer, June 4th through the 6th.
A whole weekend.
By praying collaboratively and collectively, asking God or whatever higher power you believe in for more rain, we may be able to escape the deadliest aspects of the continuing drought. Please join me and Utahns, regardless of religious affiliation, in a weekend of humble prayer for rain. Thanks in advance, and God bless you and the great state of Utah.
Okay, I have so many things to say.
Now, look, you can do all the numbers aren't what they seem. You're misunderstanding the water usage of data centers all you want. But I think when your governor is asking for the entire state to pray for more water, maybe a 40,000 acre mega data center is not going to go over well with people.
I don't like his voice. I don't like the way he looks. He looks like he looks like a child who just is bald. And he looks like a bald kid.
He does look like a bald kid.
And I also don't like that people who live in Utah are called Utahns. That sounds like a part of a.
It doesn't seem right.
It sounds like a subatomic particle. You got the nucleus, you got the protons, you got the Utahns. I mean, come on, man.
Okay, so people obviously don't want this thing, right? But it passed unanimously. But it was only 3. There's only 3 people on the board. Can we play the clip real quick from Tucker Carlson, absolutely laying into Mr. Wonderful about how one could even how does one even get 3 council members from
the other one?
Oh yeah, the other one
Above it. Tucker is curious. The second one. There you go.
And we'll cut out this first part because it's he's like talking about China and it's like a little weird, but
you have to choose the less of 2 evils in your scenario. And I'm telling you, what you should do is say, I want Kevin O'Leary to succeed. I want him to beat the Chinese in compute power. Then use the laws of the United States to make sure that you keep that compute power in check. To not have it available, to put down my shovel. I don't think people want me to do that. Even the people in Box Elder, the majority of them want me to hold my shovel and start digging.
There was a referendum among citizens?
3-0. The commissioners of the county said, we want to
so
be part
three
of this.
people voted. The people of the
They're
county.
elected officials. That's how you do it. There's
How
no other
hard
way
is
to
it
do it.
for Kevin O'Leary and Amazon and Microsoft and Google to subvert
Yes,
3 county
yes.
commissioners in rural Utah?
Tucker,
Pretty tough.
they asked us to come. They asked us to bring $15 billion. There's no other way
Amazon,
to do
Google,
it.
and Kevin O'Leary got 3 county commissioners in rural Utah on their side. Good work.
I don't doubt that Utah said come here because, like I said,
I don't doubt it either.
They want it, but they just did not even consider.
But I think when you say they, it's confusing what you mean. I think that there are some politicians that, yes, 100% want to give tax breaks and kickbacks to these massive people and say they're bringing industry to Utah, whatever. But I do not think the people want it. And,
And also there's
what he says. Like, was there a referendum on it where Utahns, that's really hard to say, Utahns all voted on it? And O'Leary goes, no, this board of 3 people voted on it. And Tucker is obviously making fun of him. It's like, how hard is it to get Amazon, Google, and whoever to get 3 people to vote for this thing? But, this Stratus project is projected to require 16.6 billion gallons of water every year, the equivalent of 25,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. When you have your governor telling people to pray for rain this weekend collectively.
Yeah. Was that from this year?
No, that was from 2021.
Still.
But things have only gotten worse when it comes to the water situation. Yeah. And again, like we were saying before, it's not just the water. The power is going to be astronomical.
Yeah.
The Kyle Hill video had this number higher from a different source, but Patrick Belmont, professor of watershed sciences at Utah State University, says the facility would generate enough heat to raise nighttime temperatures by 8 to 12 degrees. The Kyle Hill video cited a stat that said it could be as high as 28 degrees.
Wow.
And the carbon emissions are crazy. The data center would have an estimated output of 30 million tons of CO2 per year, which is more than the entire state's transportation sector. It's 50% more than every vehicle in Utah currently.
Well, thank God global warming is a total hoax. It just means it'll be a little hotter at night.
But Kevin O'Leary took it upon himself to go on TV and tell. Maybe we should just play the clip of him, talking about how they're funded by China.
Yeah, Kevin O'Leary was on TV or on social media, and he was blaming this Alliance for a Better Utah that is pushing back on this. And he said, why is there suddenly such an aggressive push against American data centers and AI infrastructure? After seeing a major spike in coordinated opposition campaigns around our Utah projects, we conducted a digital audit and traced a large amount of activity back to an organization called Alliance for a Better Utah, which has been pushing misinformation throughout Box Elder County about our data center developments. He then says that he found these IRS Form 990 filings and traced the network behind it and said the money appears tied to Chinese-linked funding channels connected through an organization called Arabella. Think about the incentive. If China is racing to dominate AI and compute capacity, why wouldn't they want to slow American infrastructure down? And then Alliance for a Better Utah issued a statement in response and said, the only foreign interest in this data center is Kevin from Canada. It's insulting to Utahns across the state to say that any opposition or protest to this data center is the work of a foreign government. We are proud to live in a state where there are people who deeply care about transparency, their community, and their kids' futures. It is not strange to us that Utahns want to feel heard in decisions that will impact their lives for decades to come. Holding your government accountable to ensure that they look out for your best interests is not the work of foreign infiltration. It is upholding the principles America was founded upon, and it is emblematic of the principles on which the Alliance for a Better Utah was founded in Utah 15 years ago.
There's a very funny, we can't play it, but there's a very funny clip too of they like straight up asked the people from Alliance for a Better Utah, like, are you funded by the Chinese? And they're like, no, we would, our lives would be way different if we were getting money from the Chinese. What are you talking about?
And so since then, the Utah Senate has asked for a 75%.
Well, yeah, so they're suing and trying to stop the project.
Yeah.
And it's a bit in limbo what's going to happen with the project. There has been a reduction in the... They called they said that the project was being scaled down 75%. So instead of 40,000 acres, it was going to be 10,000 acres.
Plus some conservation stuff.
Right. But some reports are saying that it's actually not a 75% reduction. It's only a 50% reduction. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on. And I guess we'll see with the suit. All of this stuff is very strange too, because like they have an NDA with all this stuff. All of these people who are trying to prove these negative impacts on the community and everything are having a very hard time getting access to any of the information that that the Stratus Project
Now,
has.
is that because of the military's involvement?
Yeah, it's very confusing.
It's convoluted.
Utah has this thing called the Military Installation Development Authority, which I did not know about until we started looking into this
And that is
project.
confined to Utah, or is it a national thing?
I think it's a Utah. I don't think it has anything to do with the U.S. military. I think it's a Utah organization that was started in 2007 for them to bring military money to Utah to basically be like, hey, we can have them build out military installations here. The state will get kickbacks and whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll provide Utahns jobs.
It is a quasi-municipal state agency created in 2007 to develop underutilized military land, support military initiatives, and drive economic development.
But apparently even that has like a bit of a weird history. Some of their projects have included luxury ski resorts, and
the fucking soldiers gotta lay back, kick
That's
back,
true.
man.
That's true. I don't want to be too hard on Mida or however they call it. And some other like fancy hotels and stuff. So it doesn't seem like it's always military, but it does seem like, obviously it was smart of them to do that. They went this route with MIDA or MIDA, however you say it, because it's easier to get the projects fast tracked. It's easier to like push through the tax breaks and get these like more, these better financing deals.
It's too
for
bad,
the
so
investors.
sad, because it's a military thing now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
And
it reminds me of there's the famous breakwater in Long Beach was installed in like the late 30s, early 40s by the what is it called? The Army Corps of Engineers. And then the Navy left the Port of Long Beach, Port of LA, and then Long Beach is stuck with this breakwater that keeps the beach dirty as hell. And since then, Long Beach can't touch it. LA County can't. Nobody can touch it because the military still technically has final say over its maintenance, over potential destruction of it, or any kind of change in it. So it reminded me of that because it sounds like a similar deal.
I mean, Utah is also doing a similar thing to that Kevin O'Leary is doing, and being like, it feels very like red baity, fucking McCarthyism, weird stuff. But now it's just China, where Governor Spencer Cox, the same one who wants you to pray for rain, is saying we have to do this. We can't just say no and shut the doors and go home and let China win this technology race.
Well, so now let's.
If you don't want this thing heating up raising your nighttime temperatures by 28 degrees, you're a goddamn commie.
Yeah, what do you eat a Panda
you
Express
want China
every
to
night?
win. You want China to win,
Chinese
don't you?
guy. So then, O'Leary, he put out this weird social media apology, and even Fox News had to apologize on Kevin's behalf.
It's very annoying. I don't think we can play the
No.
Okay, so Fox News, it wasn't just one thing they ran. They ran it on multiple shows across their across Fox News and Fox Business.
Yeah.
And they are very similar to Kevin's apology, which we can pull up because we are allowed to show that.
But they said it was a 45-second statement at the conclusion of the Big Weekend show. And the guy hosting it said, Kevin O'Leary appeared as a guest on the show on May 24th and discussed the ongoing controversy surrounding his planned data center project in Utah. He made certain claims relating to the opponents of this project. Mr. O'Leary has now corrected the record and explained he has no evidence that the Alliance for a Better Utah, Josh Cantor, or Taylor Knuth are funded by China or the Chinese Communist Party. Fox News Media is likewise aware of no evidence that they are funded by or acting in the direction of or in coordination with Chinese interests in opposing Mr. O'Leary's project. Fox News Media also apologizes for this error.
I am very curious what happened. We don't know exactly what happened to cause this. Obviously, there's speculation that there was maybe some kind of lawsuit pending. Like,
oh, yeah.
Hey,
man.
we're going to sue you if you don't take this down for defamation or... but I don't know. I would be... I don't know. I find the whole thing very surprising. I think he also wanted this to be as quiet as possible. He turned off replies on that tweet. I don't think he wanted people to be able to like screenshot it easily. That's why he did the like weird black text with like instead of doing a actual text post.
What a baby.
But yeah, I don't think things are going. He's going to be fine. He's the biggest baby in the world.
I don't know. He might have to sell that Charizard he wore around his neck at the Oscars, or that the Kobe Bryant rookie card. Fucking clown.
But it's a very this whole saga is a very it's a great example of what's going on with this data center build out. Like I think the data center thing, there is obviously probably some hyperbole. Like it's also we've been using them for decades. We need them for the internet. But
I need them to send my emails.
He needs them to send his emails. He needs them to watch those weird videos that ruin his computers every time he gets one.
Right. Yep.
But I do think there's a bit of a irresponsible build out.
Oh yeah.
That is being plowed through
wheelbarrowed.
Yeah, wheelbarrowed through these communities that aren't really getting a say before it's too late. And then you have people either their lives being disrupted in all kinds of ways, whether it's the noise pollution, whether it's the more expensive energy, whether it's drinking water being disrupted. Or
I liked what Kyle Hill said at the end of his video, where he pointed out that where AI is being, for the most part, forced down everybody's throats, and you can many things can be true at once. That it can be a net good and can just be good generally, be it for research, biotech, all that stuff. But he draws the connection to social media, and he said, look at what we did with social media. It was just foisted upon us. We're essentially the guinea pigs in this now 15-year-long, 20-year-long experiment, and points out that social media has been, you could argue, has been a net negative on society.
That is another good point.
And what are we potentially getting ourselves into with AI then? If social media has gotten us this, I mean, you could draw a line between, where it all started and how we are now as a country being divided more than ever, Trump, all of this stuff, and its reverberating effects around the world.
Well, think about how many people we could get to go crazy and kill themselves or other people if we get massive data centers so more people have access to AI. Wouldn't that be?
That's actually a good point.
No, but that is a good point. I didn't think about, yes, we're also doing this very rapid AI data center build out without really having the AI thing prove its, usefulness and staying power.
To quote Maud Flanders, won't someone think of the children?
Won't someone think of the children? Or our own economy and the way it's going to be shaped in the coming years. There's obviously a lot of talk about this bubble, and that I don't think
bubbles.
AI is going to totally go away, but I do kind of think that we're going to see a bit of a retraction. So yeah, I don't know. But all I know is I don't want the damn Chinese to win. So we got to.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
Fortune cookies say, let Kevin O'Leary do his shit.
I will say though, I mean, just thinking about
Confucius say, sorry.
Just thinking about the way it is going, it is a little bit encouraging, at least, that there is you're seeing very partisan people come, like that woman who's like, I'm a Republican, all my friends are Republican, being like, this is more important. I want to I want to stand with my community and fight against this thing that's going to be really harmful to us.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let's with the last little bit we've got, why don't we pivot to the AI corner, huh? Because we don't have crypto corner anymore. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Well, we do a little bit. Update. Bitcoin's still taking a fucking shit.
Bitcoin's taking a massive turd and wiping it all over its own butt cheeks. But we got OpenAI is delaying their
58.
IPO. They're putting a pause on some of their models. And I do have to point out, I got laughed at, but I think that it's incredibly funny that the new GPT models, the umbrella that they are under is Sol, Terra, and Luna.
And before, just take a beat.
If you guys know.
I want to know, before he goes on.
Yeah.
Does that make you laugh?
If you're a true fan of this show,
Does
you know
that-
exactly
Does
what.
that make you laugh?
Yeah, it makes me
Are
laugh.
you laughing to yourself? And do you know why? And is the reason you're laughing to yourself, if you are, the reason he's about to say?
Sol, Terra, and Luna are all three names of crypto projects that, well, Solana did shit the bed, but Terra and Luna absolutely were like massive, just devastatingly destructive cryptocurrencies that were once lauded as like the next Bitcoin, kind of thing.
And
But
he
it's
asked
just-
me if I thought it was funny, and I said, "Oh, because it's like sun, earth, moon." And he
I
was like,
no.
"Yeah." And I was like, I don't think that many people are connecting.
So I just think that that's kind of funny because I just thought that's a very interesting choice. You would think that someone inside of OpenAI would be like, maybe we should pick something that doesn't even tangentially, even to 5% of the people out there, doesn't make them think of these utter failures of crypto projects.
I understand.
you
I
know?
just don't think those things reached critical mass. It's
Yeah.
like, when they try to bring the Chevy Nova to South America,
No, it was Nova. Yeah, it was.
and you know why it didn't work?
Because Nova means it doesn't go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
And
quite.
those people in Latin America were like, you guys fucking
I'm not
kidding
buying
me
a
with the-
Nova.
Yeah, I want the Siva. Yeah,
Yes,
it goes.
go.
Yeah.
Go very well.
Yeah, go very well.
But I don't think Terra and Luna have quite
Yeah, you're
hit
right.
a
You're right.
saturation
It
point.
is a very niche thing that you don't realize is niche because you are so ingrained in a certain online community, and I'm pointing the finger at myself.
And it's also, those were already things on their own outside of that.
You don't say. Yeah.
But it would be like if they named it Bitcoin, people would be like,
Yeah, what
why?
the fuck? Yeah.
But maybe when we gave them the opportunity to see if they were laughing, maybe everyone's going to let me know they were laughing their asses off at Sol, Terra, and Luna.
Yeah, and I think it's very funny and interesting that they are delaying their IPO because that's not exactly a good.
That doesn't
it's not a
instill
good
confidence?
It's not a good sign.
No word on Anthropic.
No word on Anthropic.
They seem to be going full steam ahead.
Also, just interestingly, sooner than I thought, that it seems like the physical AI, the robotics trade / theme is upon us. There are some stocks that have just been on a tear. One of them, Ouster, the LiDAR company, is up 50% in the last week. Ambarella, all these different stocks are just, it's fascinating. Look at that. Do 5 days. I wonder what the 5-day thing, what does it say? 38%. What about 1 month? That should be 50%. Oh, I'm so stupid. I hate myself.
You dumb.
And Bloom Energy just had a big jump. I mean, everything's jumping, man.
Everything's jumping, but
Everybody in the club is jumping. Yeah, it's true. You got a stock, but I too ain't got stock. When you get it and go hot, I just make it pop.
Okay.
All you brokers, leave your wives at home.
Is that real?
The club is full of stocks and they're gonna blow up. Cause all the robots gotta use LiDAR. Cause it's 11:30 and the stocks are pumping. Wow.
Boop, 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 beep, boop, boop.
That's you know what song I'm doing?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, some
It's
people out
Destiny's Child.
there. Yeah, it's Destiny's Child.
Ladies, leave your man at home.
The club is full of stocks that they're gonna blow up.
What is the song called?
Jumping.
Is it just called Jumpin'?
I think.
No one knows.
Or ladies.
Ladies, leave your man at home.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody knows what that song's called. And of
Me
course,
just watching the music video.
damn, ladies
What's
do
that?
leave. Yeah, jumping.
Jumpin'.
That's what it's called.
song is
16
this?
years ago. Jeez, that song's old enough to drive.
It's got to be older than that though, because.
It says 16 years.
But that's
old,
when they
man.
put it on YouTube, probably.
Oh, sure.
I don't know
Okay,
if
there
you
we
know
go.
this.
Jumping.
YouTube has not been around.
2000.
Yeah,
Wow, this song's old enough to rent a car.
I think that's a
it's-
myth. I think you can rent a car at 21.
Maybe they've changed the rule. I don't know. Well, good for Beyonce. She deserves it.
She deserves everything she has.
And yeah, I think that's probably a good place to stop.
I'm just gonna get ahead of this in case we get any trouble. I want to say that big apology to Kevin O'Leary and his wonderful wife. I have no idea what happened that fateful day, and I don't want people to even Google it or look into what him and his wife are doing.
And we are funded by the Chinese Communist Party.
Oh, that's for sure. Kevin
It's
O'Leary,
awesome.
you can say that on Fox Business because we take a lot of money from the Chinese Communist
I don't
Party.
even think they know what's going on. They're just paying us. And
They
I'm
don't
like,
they don't care.
pay attention.
They don't care at all.
They're just doling it out
We
there.
really hope the Chinese government does not audit their social media spend because it would be very bad for us.
Oh yeah. Hey, also, if you are in the market for an iPhone or like a computer, you might as well buy that now because Apple's raising their prices because of the memory shortage. Which is funny because then Micron pushed back and basically said, "Fuck you guys. You guys have been like jerking us around for years when we were just a commodity and we had no pricing power and we had no leg to stand on. You guys would like lowball us." And then what's his name? Tim Cook?
Apple.
Tim Apple was like, "Oh, well, they're raising their prices, so, we got to raise our prices." Shut up. You know what, Tim Apple? Shut up. Can you name that movie?
Yeah, I can if you give me a second.
You got it. I know you got it.
The pressure is getting to me. It's eating me alive. I can't.
Bill Madison.
Oh yeah, it's when he freaks out.
Yeah. Just shut up.
Yeah.
All right, and we got the comment of the week here. It's from Lord of Dara. In reference to our Snapchat episode. I used to sell so many drugs on Snapchat. The authorities have been notified, and you are going down, man.
We've ran your IP address. We know
Yeah.
everything about you.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You're going down, Lord of Dara.
This whole
Lord of
thing.
Diarrhea.
This whole thing has been a sting operation to get Lord of Dara, and
Yeah.
finally we've done it. This is the last episode we're doing.
All right, folks. We'll see you in the every bonus.
Coming up on this week's episode of BenandEmilShow.com.
And claims that a supervisor reprimanded her, saying, "Stop it, just stop it. You're upsetting Kylie. You're making her
This
depressed."
is so dark.
You're making her depressed. And I'm imagining Kylie just like, I don't know, clutching a pillow in her bedroom, just going, "That's sad."
Got chicken nuggets and mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh, tell her to stop.
I don't want to hear about her dead baby anymore.
It's making me sad.
Doesn't she know she left the fridge messy?
It's making me depressed. Such a special Sunday at church. It was long overdue, but our
Do you think all this is happening in... No, it's probably happening in real life, not...
I think this is just people doing a fantasy thing. Click the next one. The one with the little the girl. There it is.
Why is the...
Oh, she's adoptable. You can adopt her. DM for requirements. Ms. Bratz is
Why
looking
does she have, like, boobs and a butt?
I don't know.
And the first comment is just, interested.
Whoa, wait. Click that first one. That on Ashanta. Get the grid. It just says Malaysia.
Interested. Whoa, this is a whole weird world.
What
of...
is this? What the
Yikes.
hell is it? Goyer ball.
Go back. It's crazy to think that this year we're celebrating 4 years of Goyer magazine. Like, wow. Time has flown by. This year, the Goyer Ball 2026 will be unforgettable. Yeah,
Damn,
well, because we're going to come karate chop your husbands.
Oh, dude, I need to get a date for the Goyer Ball. That's Saturday. Shit.
I gotta get an outfit.
I gotta get an outfit, yeah.
Goyer Ball 2026.
Look at how...
It's going to be fucking crazy.
She is serving. Do you think she's going to be at the Goyer Ball?
I hope so.
I hope she's at the Goyer Ball.
We are officially announcing that Goyer Ball 2026 will be held as a private... Oh, no.
Man.
No!
Oh, you scared me, dude. Jeez.
The celebration will only include models invited by the magazine. We have
Of course,
basically...
it's always the models.
We have 4 days to become...
Goyer models.
Goyer models.